Tonight, lawmakers in Raleigh are pushing legislation that would add North Carolina to a list of potential participants in a convention of states.
Well, their efforts are a part of a nationwide movement to address concerns about the size and the scope of the federal government. Our chief political correspondent here, Emma Withrow, joining us now to be able to break down what this means. Convention of state. I didn't even know what that was, Emma. So break that down for us, and why do they want some lawmakers to be part of it here?
Yeah, I mean, unless you've combed through Article 5 of the Constitution pretty thoroughly, you probably wouldn't know what it was.
Right.
But really, North Carolina's application for a convention of states was just filed in the North Carolina House. Almost the same exact bill was filed last session, and it did pass, but then failed in the Senate. Though legislators I spoke with today think it actually has some real potential this year. A convention of states is a constitutional provision written into Article 5 of the United States Constitution. It basically says if 34 states agree to do so, they can hold a convention to propose amendments to the Constitution.
If that were to happen, then all 50 states could send delegates to consider different amendments to the Constitution. And then once those amendments are submitted to the convention would nominate a chair, and they would actually vote on those amendments.
Representative John Hartster is one of the sponsors of North Carolina's application to join the list of potential states. Hartster said once the amendments are voted on and passed by the convention, they would have to be submitted to all 50 states for ratification. It would require 38 states to ratify the amendments to actually make changes to the Constitution. Representative Jason Saine is one of the co-sponsors of the bill.
If states can get together, decide on something that would have to be wildly popular, obviously, for it to pass that many state delegations, then we can move forward with it.
If North Carolina passes House Joint Resolution 235, it would be the 20th state to join the list for the Convention of States. Many of the lawmakers who support the resolution believe the federal government has overstepped its bounds in recent years, and they want to address a range of issues they feel Congress is falling short on.
One of them is term limits. The second one is fiscal restraint. It could result into a balanced budget, for instance, amendment. It could result in the way they get the budget done. We don't prescribe exactly how it has to read. We just prescribe the areas that they need to work in.
Mike Hager is the former Speaker of the North Carolina House and has been advocating for North Carolina to join the list of the Convention of States for years now. During the last session, the bill gained support from 2 Democrats and 58 Republicans, but Saine doesn't think it's a partisan issue.
Balancing your checkbook, it should never be a partisan issue. It's about being fiscally responsible. That's not a Republican issue. That's not a Democrat issue. So I do think we'll see more bipartisan support.
House Joint Resolution 235 was filed yesterday and has not gone through any committees yet, so we're going to have to wait and see how that goes. Though Speaker of the House Tim Moore said he expects it to do well in the House again this time around. We'll just have to wait and see.